That's probably going to get us thrown off of YouTube.
I don't think this is free source. This is the sounds of Rivendell.
Right out of the box, we start the video, and we get thrown off of YouTube.
Coming to you via the virtual airwaves of BRTV from the Big Easy in Louisiana, bringing you his philosophy and insight on life and all things pipe and premium tobacco related. Please welcome your host, Padre Piper.
I do what I can.
Mark VV.
That's me.
Padre.
That's him.
So, what I don't know. What are we doing? This is
The Blend Club series, the BRTV
BRTV
Club.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's January, and we were supposed to have wrapped this up in
December.
Yeah. So
we're also like two videos behind. So
right. This is video number 5 because I've totally lost track.
Video number 5, Rivendell.
And we're recording this on MLK Day, which means some of us had to come to work, hence I'm dressed. Some of us have banking hours, and you show up here like you're going to a luau. You're in shorts, you're wearing Crocs, and I'm trying to figure out how you got out of the house like that because it's kind of cool outside.
Balmy 60 degrees.
It was like 49 when I left.
Balmy 60 degrees.
All right. Well, happy MLK Day, even though this is not going up probably close to when MLK Day is. Who knows when this is going to go up. But
I think it's on our schedule now, huh?
Well, I don't know, because, and this is probably something we can get into once we get our bowls lit, but I don't even know if Briar Report Television even exists anymore.
Thanks to the fine folks at YouTube.
Yeah, so it seems that we're no longer able to embed videos into websites, and that kind of puts Phil in a weird position. But I'll tell you something, that also kind of sucks for church because, you know, since the lockdown, we've been doing a YouTube channel for services, and you can't embed those either.
What's a bummer?
It really is. So, you know, we were sending out like a little weekly, I stole this from Phil, it's called the GSC TV Guide, Good Church TV Guide. You know, and you would just put the YouTube link for the week's services, and now they don't show up because you can't embed them. I mean, it's just so stupid.
They just make things very easy for everyone.
So, we are on video 5, though, and which tells me we've done 4 previous
supposedly
Country Squire tobacconist blends from the Middle Earth series.
I believe we started off with Bag End, or Old Toby was number 1.
Old Toby was number 1.
Bag End, Second Breakfast, Green Dragon.
That's where we left off, Green Dragon.
Green Dragon back in October.
Fantastic, Virginia. Today we're moving back to a lightly aromatic.
We're pulling up Rivendell right now.
And
didn't you print out something?
I did. So I can read you what it says from tobaccoreviews.com. A naturally sweet red Virginia and barley blend, perfect as an all-day smoke, as this one doesn't get much more relaxing. Now, I've had this, but it's been a long time since I've had this, and I remember enjoying it. And as I'm looking, it says contents barley Virginia, so it's a vapor, but it's got a little bit of a casing or a top note or something that was chocolatey, cocoa-y, which is making, I'm curious now because I want to see, like I said, it's been a very long time since I've had this. I want to see if it's reminiscent of, say, a Carter Hall or something like that. Now, what does the Country Squire say? He says, one of our Middle Earth series tobaccos dedicated to the works of Tolkien. Rivendell is woodsy and earthy with the slightest hint of cocoa. Mildly sweet with a hint of walnut. Now it's making me think of another codger blend. Ain't there no more. Walnut.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Right? So maybe it's Carter Hall meets walnut.
I mean, the flavorings kind of remind me a little bit of one of our favorite tobaccos, McClellan's Holiday Spirit.
Ah, okay. Rivendell's room note turns heads with each puff. I am ready to turn some heads,
Perhaps.
which might cause the need for exorcism if they turn too
Perhaps.
much. We'll have to see about that. So, you're doing the bag note. What you smell in there?
So, well, now that I've said Holiday Spirit, I kind of...
You want to back off on that now? Huh?
No, it actually smells very reminiscent of it.
Really?
Yeah, it has that kind of walnutty, pecan-y,
Yeah, nutsy,
nutsy, chocolatey.
but without the boozy topping. I would imagine.
Was it like a rum they do with that one?
Yeah, something. There's some kind of a booze topping, which I don't remember that being present.
But yeah, it kind of just reminds me of that warm kind of
Yeah,
warming nut cocoa kind of scent that has.
yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Oh, that's a nice bag note.
It is very much so. The bag.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be... I've forgotten about that. Like I said, I probably haven't had this in 3 or 4 years.
I don't remember the last time I had it, but it has been a recent, that's for sure.
So you're going to load your bowl, and you look... I am going to use a Missouri Mirror Sound Country Gentleman today. I think, for my taste and for my buck, there's not a better pipe on the market. This Country Gentleman.
It's a good pipe.
And what you can do with this Country Gentleman is get you one of those forever stems. Pull this stem off, replace it with something a little nicer. But look, I don't have a problem with these. I'm going to take this filter out. I'm not a filter. I don't much care. Let me see if I can get a tight enough pack where the filter's not going to be necessary. All right, so you've loaded, but it's a good pipe. Now you're smoking something similar. It looks a little like the Country Gentleman, but it's got an egg shape or an egg corn shape, and it's got a longer stem.
And this is
They call that
very appropriately named the Shire from the Cobbett series.
You gotta like that.
Not McClellan, the Missouri Meerschaum. We have McClellan on the brain, I guess.
Now, one of the reasons you and I have been kind of scarce on the virtual airwaves has a lot to do with COVID. Not that either one of us, to my knowledge, have had it.
I've had it, yeah.
But I got locked down, and I think that you had some stuff going through your house, like baby was sick or something.
We
but
never
not
got
COVID.
locked down, but it's like Lucy, our youngest, just turned a year back in December. She has I guess it's like a mix of allergies plus reflux. So it just makes things very difficult at night, and she's coughing all the time, and it's just...
That's not good. That's a shame. So we are finally able to be blessed to get together for a bowl. That's such a good room note. I can see why it would turn heads. So that's my impressions on the room note. Good. What is your impressions on the charring light as I go ahead and char?
Doesn't have a whole lot of flavor right off the bat, but...
No? Oops. I'm
Of course,
spilling
I'm not
out.
really focusing on that either, so...
Nothing standing out on the char? Oh, that's a nice looking lighter you got there. Why don't you show that off? What is that? Is that a...
I've had this for a while. This is a Caribe something? It's a Caribe lighter, so it's kind of like an old boy. One of the little old boy style lighters. It's got a little flip and a flint ignition like that.
I'm using, you know where I got this?
The Acolyte Closet?
No, I got this at the Dollar Tree. You know how much I paid for it?
$1.
Yep.
And some tax.
Some tax, a lot of tax. They tax like crazy down here. Well, you know, you live here. Okay. I'm remembering this blend, actually. I'm remembering that I like this blend, actually. Off the bat, I think the descriptor, either on tobacco reviews or from Country Squire. So what was it? Woodsy, earthy, slight hint of cocoa. I mean,
That's
kind of what it is.
kind of what it is. Yeah. Not getting any real nuttiness yet, but it's definitely woodsy and earthy and cocoa-y.
Get a little nuttiness with the retrohale. Now, I will say this, and this is one of the reasons I love the blends that John David has put together. Like, I'm giving him credit for even the ones he didn't do, because I think this one may predate his ownership. I'm not sure. But they're also smooth, and they burn so cool. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how he does that, particularly with aromatics.
With Hobbit magic.
I think it must have a little Hobbit magic in it. Also enjoying some black coffee in the BRTV mug.
I'm using my very appropriate Country Squire bright orange.
And did you choose the Italian?
I think we're both drinking the same thing.
Yeah, I really like it. It's bold and flavorful. And are you enjoying it?
Yeah.
You said you're not a bold guy.
I'm not a bold guy.
Well, I know you like a lighter blend because you like the caffeine hit, because you got a little problem. Got a little drug addiction to the caffeine. But I just find it to be a flavorful blend.
It's good for my 10th cup of coffee today.
There you go. Is that typical of a day off for you, 10 cups?
No, I've only had 2. For shame.
Well, we did have plans to have this finished by now.
Yeah.
This would have been our November show. December would have been Kingsfoil.
Kingsfoil.
And then we talked about either in December having John David come on the show or doing a bonus episode with John David.
Yeah.
So we still need to figure that part out.
Yeah,
that will likely happen by June.
Still, it's potentially, you say that, but...
Right. Have you had contact with John David? How's he doing?
Pretty good. I mean, I'm sure they're just getting over the busyness of the Christmas season, so kind of ramping back down.
This is getting nice now. I'm getting much more of the woodsy as it's taken its flame. And there is a hint of cocoa there.
Yeah, a lot of woodsy. That's a very good descriptor.
So how was your Christmas and New Year? Did you get any good toys?
Did I? No, not really. My brother bought me a computer. That was nice.
He bought you a computer for Christmas?
He did.
Wow, like for gaming or?
Yeah, for gaming, but I mean, you can use a computer for everything else as well.
Right.
Not just gaming, but that was the primary.
I kind of figured it wasn't like, hey, Mark VV, I'm going to give you this computer because I know you need some help running your Quicken books or something.
Yeah, it was more like, hey, Mark, let's play games together. Here's a gaming computer.
He's older or younger?
A little bit older than me.
Yeah.
A little bit older. A doctor.
Not a pipe smoker.
Not a pipe smoker.
What kind of doctor?
Hemopathologist.
So blood disorders.
Mm-hmm. Blood cancer, blood disorders, that kind of stuff. Looking for the bad stuff in the blood.
Does he give you crud about smoking?
Nope.
Would you take it if he did?
Probably.
You slap him? What would you do? You bigger than him? Could you?
I guess maybe I am.
Could take him?
No, probably not. He's probably a little stronger than me.
You see, my brother's 5 years older than me, so as we were growing up, he was always significantly larger than me. And then, like, I don't know, probably by the time I was becoming a senior in high school, I kind of peaked out at the height I am now, like 6'2", 6'3", and he's only like 5'11". So by then, but I was super skinny. So he still had some weight on me, but I had height. So, if we'd get into fisticuffs, I had like this, abnormally long Frankenstein type arm where I could.
You still do?
I do. I know. I haven't outgrown that. Just not super skinny anymore.
You and me both. You and me both.
My knuckles still drag the ground. This, maybe it's just that they suggested it in the description about it being relaxing. But I gotta say, this is a very relaxing blend. This is a nice blend to relax with a nice hot cup of black coffee. I could see this as, we were talking about this earlier, by the fireplace, or I got a fire pit for Christmas, which I haven't used yet, but sitting out on the patio at night with the fire pit burning and enjoying a blend like this with some hot coffee or an adult beverage. I think this would pair very well with that.
A little bourbon, a little whiskey.
Mo Debley. Have you been tasting any good bourbons lately? I was very disappointed that COVID took our tradition away. Mark VV and I, for the past 4 years or something, have gone. There's a local supermarket who has a really good selection of booze, and every year around Friday night, like 3 or 4 weeks in advance of Christmas, they do a whiskey tasting.
I think traditionally it's like on December 8th or 10th, like
something like that.
Yeah, the first week of
gives
December.
You plenty of time to taste and shop for the holidays. And of course, with COVID, you're not allowed to have fun, so they didn't do it this year. And you can't really do a virtual whiskey tasting.
A little hard.
A little hard. I mean, we still haven't perfected the smell-o-vision, although we still are encouraging Phil to work on that technology in the lab.
To be fair, COVID has put a bit of a strain on Phil's workload, so he can't get to things as readily or quickly as he normally would. So we probably would have had smell-o-vision by now, but given the year we've had.
Yeah.
So, Phil, it's okay.
You're letting him off the hook? We haven't made a video in over 2 months and you're letting Phil off the hook. I see how that works.
It's deflecting. I'm deflecting the responsibility elsewhere.
I'm enjoying this blend.
Yeah, very much, very, very good one.
It really is. So, I have a funny story I'd like to share.
Oh, I like funny stories.
I was gonna make a video and share this. I made a video for the first time the other day.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I have to.
Which I called you out.
Respond.
Right. Okay. I called out Derek Tant, who, to my surprise, watches my videos because he's like, "Hey, I'm still alive, but I ain't making videos right now." So that I'm over there because he hadn't made a response video. You haven't made a response video. And Professor Walker probably has enough sense not to watch my channel. So he probably won't make a response video either. But anyway, those are the three I called out for. But I wanted to tell the story, and I forgot. And I wanted that to be a quick video anyway, so it got long. But I've started going back to the movies. Have you done that?
No.
Okay.
We watch them at home, but, safely at home.
Well, here's what I was going to tell you. Okay, typically when I would go to the movies before the lockdown, I would maybe knock off early on a Friday and, leave at lunch and hit a matinee. And for a couple of reasons. Number one is I was social distancing long before it was cool to social distance. I don't like people breathing my air. So did you hear that?
I did.
Yeah.
What is that?
I have no idea.
Is there a ghost?
I have no idea. I hear noises like that in this place all day long.
It's got to be the rats.
It could be.
Big, fat rats.
It very well could be.
Anyway.
It could be somebody coming in to slash our throats, which is kind of cool because it'll get caught on camera. But anyway, where the heck was I going? Okay, so it would be not unusual for me if I were going to go to a movie. I don't go on a Friday or Saturday night. There's just too many people. And again, this is long before lockdown. So my MO would be I'll knock off a few hours early and go to a matinee. And that's how I enjoy doing it. Because oftentimes I'm the only guy in the theater. And the one time that didn't hold true, this is probably the only time I went to a movie on opening day. I'm not the guy who gets in line in his costume for Star Wars or anything like that. I went opening day to see Mr. Rogers. And yes, I wore a Mr. Rogers sweater. Okay. But anyway, and I went to like a 1 o'clock show, like the first one of the day. I was not the only person in the theater. it was filled with old people. And when I say old people, I mean older than me.
So you were the youngest old person
I was
there.
like the youngest old person there. But that's beside the point. My point is, I don't mind going to the theater. I love going to the theater and having the place to myself.
Yeah.
So as we've started back from this lockdown and AMC is reopened and such, and they're only selling 40% of the theater and that kind of stuff, the couple of times I've been, I've still been the only guy. Because they don't do like 11 o'clocks and 1 o'clocks that early, but they do start at like 3 o'clock on a Friday. So you can still get in early and it's less people.
Yeah.
So I've done that a couple of times, still been the only guy. I'm like, hey, this is good. And I've told people, this is safe because if you're the only person, there's no one else in the theater, you're in good shape.
Nobody can cough on you.
Right. The other day, I went to see The Marksman, which I highly recommend. That was a fantastic movie. I don't know who's in it because I don't know actors' names. I'm really bad with that. But fantastic acting, a wonderful script, well directed, well produced, a good movie. However, I'm not the only person in the theater this time.
Uh-oh.
So let me light up and tell you what happens.
They sit right next to you?
No, but on the same row, which did kind of tick me off. Like if I bought the seat on the back row, I should have that back row to myself. But their rules are, like if I buy a seat, then I think they won't sell the seat on this side of me or this side of me. So it's a minimum. And you got plenty of room to, again, there's not a lot of people going, especially early in the day. So I'm there. And actually, he's there before me, which also surprised me because I'm usually the first person. Even if somebody else comes in, they come late or whatever. But so, you get through, you got to sit through like 20, 30 minutes of the
Previews.
trailers, the previews. They call them trailers because they used to be at the end. They used to trail the movie.
Yeah.
Now at the start of the movie, they still call them trailers. All right. That's bonus material. I don't charge extra for that. Back to the story. So, after all the commercials are run, the lights go down, it gets darker, and your movie's about to start. Well, I had picked up a popcorn and a drink, so I'm a happy camper. And the rule is you got to wear your mask at all times unless you're enjoying food or beverage.
Sure.
Well, I've got the 5-gallon bucket of popcorn in front of me and like a 22-gallon Diet Coke because I'm healthy like that. If I'm going to get 10 million calories from the popcorn, I'm going to have a Diet Coke. So I got that. I'm not worried about my mask. And this guy really is, he's like 8 or 10 feet away. Same row, but he's way down. But here's where it gets interesting. So I'm not worried about whether he's wearing a mask or whatever. We're about 15 minutes into the actual movie, and I hear this sound. Which I don't know if I'm good at imitating sounds, but if I give you the little with it, what do you think that's the sound of?
Opening a bottle?
He's opening a can.
Oh.
All right?
Close.
Okay, a can. Now, you've been to the movies. You've been to AMC. They don't sell canned drinks.
They don't.
They sell fountain drinks.
They sell, yeah.
So he has snuck his own drink into the movie, which I'm not judging. And if he came to me for confession, I wouldn't absolve him because I don't think that's a sin. Only because I've done it myself before. Well, I've not snuck the drink in, but if I'm honest, I will go to the dollar store and get the big thing of the M&M peanut butter M&Ms.
Yeah.
Put that in your jacket pocket. It fits perfectly. No one knows the difference. All right. So anyway, I don't know. You can let me know if you're a moral theologian whether or not I need to go to confession for that. I didn't do it this time, but I've done it before. But anyway, he has clearly snuck a canned drink into the movie theater.
Was it a soft drink?
It's a soft drink, right?
Not a beer?
Well, I'm assuming it's a soft drink, and here's why. And even when he did it, I assumed it was a soft drink. But as I'm chuckling to myself, about 15 or 20... Oh, no, then I hear this sound. Like he's pouring it over into a cup, right?
Like ice?
I guess he's got ice. I don't know where he got the ice from because I don't think he bought a drink. But, I mean, he's well equipped. So he's pouring it into another cup. Here's the kicker. Next thing I know, and you got to remember, we're watching a movie. He's 8 feet over to my right. So this is kind of through peripheral vision. I don't want to be obvious and go, what are you doing? You know, so I'm just kind of, right? I see him doing this little number where he's got something in his hand and he's going, I kid you not. He's got one of those, like you used to get on airplanes, and now if you're at Total Wine or whatever, they got all the little samples of booze, of whiskey, of vodka, whatever. So he's got one of those, and he's like pouring it into his drink that he has just made for himself. And I'm thinking, and I tortured myself over whether or not it was okay to bring in the dollar store peanut butter M&Ms. And this guy, I mean, he's running his own bar.
This dude's got like a frying pan and one of those little oven, little portable stoves.
It could be next for him. I don't know. But then I was like, I kind of want to be his friend. Maybe when the movie's over, I should introduce myself because, he may bring an extra bottle next time. What do I know?
For a little shot, get a little blitz at the movie theater. Nothing wrong with that.
I know that took a long time to tell that story, but I say this. If you want a good movie, put your mask on, go to the movies. It really is safe right now, I think. And see The Marksman. I mean, it's a fantastic story. Well written script.
Is that the one at the Clearview? Don't they sell the Dollar Tree at the Clearview Mall?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I used to do.
No, you see, that's where I saw it. That's where I bought this. But the store was practically empty that day, and I said, "Why is your store empty? Like, did the products get attacked by the COVID or what?" And he said, "We're shutting down."
Oh.
And I said, "That's sad. Are you going out of business because of the COVID?" And she said, "No, not really. I think the rent's going. They're trying to revitalize that mall, and I don't think there's going to be room for like a Dollar Tree in there anymore."
It's going to be upscale.
I think they're upscaling it, and so that store is actually moving.
It's going to be the $5 Tree now.
It's going to be the five and under. What is that called? There's another store.
Yeah. It's like Five Below.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what the name is, but yeah.
I thought that was a boy band. Five Below.
Anyway, so Rivendell is.
Did you want to talk about the blend?
Should we? I feel like that's something we should do at some point during this video.
I'm telling you, I'm enjoying it.
Rivendell is an elven city.
You're going to give us a little history of the name.
Near the Misty Mountains.
What does it mean to be an elven city? Elves. Elves. Yeah. Okay.
They're the elves.
It puzzled me because I have a guy in my parish named Elvin.
It's kind of like Elrond, who is the Lord of Rivendell.
Okay.
It's the House of Elrond.
Like L. Ron Hubbard?
Yes, L. Ron Hubbard. I'm done.
Okay. No, Rivendell's a city. It's a village, a city. What is it?
It's a city. It's like an elven city in the mountains,
yeah,
the valley or whatever. And they go there. The Fellowship goes there at some point during the Fellowship of the Ring, and they form the Fellowship in Rivendell, the Council of Elrond or something like that.
What does it mean to form a fellowship? Is that kind of like planning a church, or maybe founding?
They need to figure out what to do with the Ring of Power. That's Sauron.
That one there.
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings. They need to figure out what to do with the ring, and so they form a fellowship, and they decide to walk it to Mount Doom in Mordor.
Mount Doom?
Mount Doom.
That sounds doomy.
So yeah, that's Rivendell. There you go.
Now this is getting a little bit of a sweet note to it right now, and not a cloying or not an artificial kind of sweetness that you might expect from an aromatic.
I haven't got a whole lot of sweetness from my end, but it's also not dry or bitter or not sweet.
No.
It's just kind of like...
What I'm liking about it, whatever this little sweet, and it may be just a little bit of an amping up of the cocoa. I can't quite distinguish it yet.
Yeah.
But it's wrapping around that woodsy thing that we were talking about, which is making for an interesting play.
Ooh.
I'm liking it. I really am.
I think I'm getting to the bottom of my bowl, though. I've been chugging it pretty hard, and it's...
I did read a couple of reviews, and people said that you can chug, and no bite.
Yeah, it really has.
I'm trying not to chug. Sometimes I will put a backie to the test just to see. But I think this is, because it's got a fair amount of Virginia in it, sipping is your friend for flavor, also for burn. but definitely for flavor. And but I don't think you're going to get this to bite.
I feel like there's a lot of, I don't know if you can see any of that. There's a fair amount of Cavendish in there, probably. Probably Burley.
Well, it claims to be Virginia and Burley.
Yeah.
They don't mention
Cavendish,
but I suspect there may be, what may be given that earthy woodsy is an unflavored Cavendish.
Unflavored black Cavendish.
Yeah, that sometimes can give you that, and also provide a little bit of a backup to like a natural sweetness without being that black Cavendish kind of sweetened.
Yeah. Totally agree.
So what do you think we're going to? What do you think we're going to do? So we have to. We still have to do tinfoil.
Tinfoil.
That's not what it's called.
No, it's called Kingsfoil.
Kingsfoil, which is a Virginia.
Yeah, it's a Virginia blend of some sort. I don't think it's not an aromatic. I don't believe.
I don't think I've had that one.
But yeah, it's.
Do you think JDC would be available
Jesus,
to
David, Christ?
That's right. Well, he did have, I know he didn't like this nickname, so I'm reluctant to say it, but I know for a while he did have a nickname.
Tobacco Jesus?
Tobacco Jesus, yeah. Because, you know, he had the long hair and the beard going.
I'll crack open the Kingsfoil and just take a whiff. A little preview, as it were. Like a trailer.
Yeah, a trailer. But actually trailing toward what presumably could be the end. Because have we really been talking for half an hour?
It's actually gotten a little dry sitting in this bag, which you probably will enjoy. It's not hay straw, but it's not super moist.
It looks pretty from here. You know what? This has almost got a McClellan-y ketchupy vinegary happening, huh? Is that just all in my head, or are you catching that kind of tart, tangy?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get a lot of sweetness, though.
Well, I'm looking forward to that, because that could be a good spring blend as we start to warm up.
Well, I'm glad we waited, huh?
Yeah. That was really why.
We do our best.
So, do we want to try and see if you want to work on that? Maybe we can get John David in, I don't know, telepathically, or you had texted me. I never answered you on this, and then you gave me crap in social media that I don't answer your text.
I did, and then you answered my text. So
I know you shamed me.
Effective.
But you had asked me like, "Hey, do you think maybe we need to plan a trip
yeah.
to Jackson, up to the Country Squire?" So I'm wondering if we could do that. If John David might avail himself to a little recording. I know he's a busy guy, and he's a family man, raising a kid, and
it would take some planning, but I think
it
just depends on. John David's a bit of a I don't want to say a recluse, but he's definitely not like the most socially open guy. Like, I don't know if you sit down for video. I don't know. I'd have to ask him.
He used to do that with Butch.
Butch.
Back in the day, Butch.
It's probably forced upon him.
That was a long time ago. Butch doesn't even live in Jackson anymore.
I think he went to Alabama, right, or something like that.
Somewhere, yeah.
So
and we're a hell of a lot more friendly than Butch.
He'd probably be more.
Love you, Butch. I like Butch.
Butch.
You remember Butch?
I remember Butch. Yeah.
Butch and I are Facebook friends now, so I try to keep up.
I think I follow him on Instagram or one of the InstaFace or Twittergram or something.
I thought you got thrown off of Twitter.
No, that was George Bruno.
George Bruno did get thrown off of Twitter. Half the world's been thrown off of Twitter now.
Pretty much.
I can't figure it out because I've actually tried to amp up my offensive,ness, and they still let me on.
You've been wearing the MAGA hat and the MAGA shirt.
I got my own style of offensiveness.
This is offensive probably to some people that are watching right now.
Well, I mean, this is one of the reasons we can't embed. Because,
pipe smoke.
Well, pipe smoke is right up there with selling crack to children on school grounds, according to YouTube.
Haven't tried selling the tobacco to children, but I guess, it's like kind of like Girl Scout cookies.
Speaking of which.
We'll put a link down below.
You do have a Girl Scout, don't you?
I do. So if you want cookies, I'll give you a link. I can set you up. Just let me know.
Well, should we wrap up our tasting notes on this
probably.
fine tobacco. I like it. I'll do it again. And this is, I think this is a well done aromatic in that it doesn't meet the typical aromatic standards that you think of with goopiness and artificial flavoring and scorching your tongue. This is well done, as are all of the Country Squire tobaccos. Well blended, very balanced. That cocoa note is it's there. It's not overpowering. There is a woodsy earthiness about it, so you can enjoy a little bit of that. What's that word you made up? Aromaticity.
Aromaticity,
but without losing the flavor of the leaf.
Yeah.
And I think it translates well into a good room note too. That's not going to offend people.
Apart from maybe Old Toby, all the rest of them are fairly not goopy. I think Old Toby's the goopiest out of the six.
And even that, I had some right out. You know, in retrospect, should have let it dry out a little bit, but it smoked fine.
Yeah.
You dry it for a little bit. Old Toby's fantastic.
It's a lovely blend.
Mm-hmm.
They're all very good. So I don't know. I think my favorite out of the six is probably still Bag End, but
I'm looking forward to that tinfoil.
yeah, we're just gonna call it that.
I guess I should call it by its right name, but for some reason that's the word that's coming on. Kingsfoil.
I'm opening up all of them and smelling them right now.
He's like a kid at Christmas. All right. So, I had, in my mind, thought I would have an email conversation with Phil before we recorded this so I could say, can you update us on what's going to happen with PRTV? But I haven't had that. So I'll let him...
We'll talk about that in our sixth video.
Yeah, in June.
Which may or may not be on.
I think this is probably just going to be uploaded to my channel.
Probably. I think
and
he'll promote it
he'll
for
link
sure.
it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
But of course,
YouTube.
this is a good chance to thank Phil for his support of our community and remind you to visit
Yes.
BriarReport.com for the news aggregate, BriarReport.org for the magazine side of things. Some wonderful blogs and articles, and there used to be videos. And
I'm sure. I'm not. Did Flatcap Piper already do the survey for Rivendell? I feel like he did. But
it's only been like 18 months since we were supposed to do this.
I don't know if it matters anymore. So
that is a good point because Flatcap was putting a little survey link up, which was neat. People could offer their feedback. So I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah.
Because we've really been.
At the very least, we're obligated to record these two videos to finish out the series. At the very least,
It's like we're under contract. We're obligated. Like Phil's going to sue us or something.
he may. Phil's a crafty guy.
So, all right, I give it a thumbs up. I thoroughly enjoy this.
Thumbs up. Yes, that is a good rating for that. Thumbs up is. Not sure if I'd give it a star rating because I don't have anything to compare it to.
It did have on tobaccoreviews.com, it had a 3.7, which I think equated to 3 4s and a 1. I mean, 3 4s and a 3.
Okay.
But it's only 4. It's only 4 reviews.
Only 4 people have ever tasted this tobacco.
Yeah. So, but I think that's a fair. I think 3.5, 3.7. That's probably where it would land with most people who, except for the dumbasses who do things like, I don't normally smoke aromatics, so I'm going to offer my opinion on this anyway and give it
1
1
star.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
Yeah. But short of those people, I think it's probably a solid 3.5 to 3.7 all around is how it would wind up, and it is.
And we'll probably still have a thumbs down on this video. The mysterious thumbs downer.
There's a lot has been made of that, and
I know who it is. Do you know who it is?
well, I know the theory. I just don't care.
I don't think it's the smoking pipeliner.
I don't know. It doesn't really. I don't. I just don't pay attention to it. I really don't. I pay attention to people's comments. I try to respond to all the comments. But if someone wants to give a thumbs down,
I know who you are. You know who you are.
I could care less. Thanks for watching. That's unless you're giving a thumbs down.
Thanks for giving me a thumbs down.
Right. I mean, thank you for giving me free rent in your head. I mean, I don't know what else to say to that.
This is very true. This is very true.
What? You're a special kind of dumbass.
I like your positivity on this. It's contagious.
Because it just
Like
doesn't.
COVID.
It doesn't have enough. It doesn't mean anything to me. Like, you've not made my life any more miserable because you gave me a thumbs down. Frankly, you've not made my life any better by giving me a thumbs up. Although, thank you.
Maybe he'll comment this time because we've talked about it.
I don't know. It sounds like you have an idea of who you think it is.
We'll talk about it after.
We shall see. Should we get around to ending this thing?
Like that?
Well, I think I have to get my clothes first.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad. Please.
Briar Report Television, on behalf of this guy over here.
The Briar Bothy.
Oh, is that what we are now? The Briar Bothy?
I haven't changed yet.
All right. The Briar Bothy. Padre, wishing you and yours God's peace, grace, and blessings.
It's Wayne's World. Out of time.
Fade to dark.
Excellent.
Keep talking. The part that gets us thrown off. What is that from?
I think it's Free Source. I told you. It's guys Rivendell ambiance music.